Alright, look, you've been on self-improvement for a couple years now, and your everyday life seems to be a lot better, except for that one thing. You can't wait to tell your friends and families about your new goals and your interests and the things you've learned, but it seems like they just don't understand, care, or they may even make fun of you for it. Now you're just sitting there, feeling lost and confused, because you see major growth in your life. But when you look around, you feel like the odd one out. No one seems to understand your desires to grow and succeed, and everyone else just feels like NPCs who just sit there content with their average life. No, there's nothing wrong with living a comfortable and easygoing life. I get it, I'm lazy as fuck too, but I also have this constant voice inside my head that tells me every day that I need to become someone and also get rich, fuck some bitches, travel the world, retire my parents, spawn a few babies, and a lot more. But as ambitious as I am, I also get that dreaded feeling of loneliness. If this sounds like you, then you're not alone. There's hundreds of thousands of people who go through this every day, including me. I remember when I first started self-improvement, I think I first got introduced to NoFap, and then I started going to the gym, and then I picked up a few books. I remember the Mark Manson book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and The Way of the Superior Man, Models, like all these books that really transformed my life and opened my eyes to a whole new way of living that you can actually improve, and then you're not stuck with whatever you were given. And it felt good knowing that I could change myself. And even though in the beginning it's very hard, all these new ideas and things you've got to do to improve, you learn about discipline, motivation, these things don't come naturally to me. I struggled a lot, but as you start giving it a go for the first few months, you start seeing small improvements and the natural inclination to share your wins and share your experiences and talk about with your fellow friends and brothers about things to improve yourself even more and things you can learn from. And as a few months go by in your self-improvement journey, you start feeling good, you start building up motivation, discipline, you start seeing small improvements in every area of your life, getting one step closer to your goals, and you have the natural urge and inclination to share your wins, share your stories with your friends and families. And I remember my self-improvement journey started when I was around 18. It was a few months after we graduated from high school, so me and my boys would go out all the time, we'd drink, we'd just get fucked up. No one really talked about like going to the gym and reading books. Like, we used to make fun of the fucking nerds who did that. So, you could probably picture us. We were the ones who drink Friday night, Saturday night, even Sunday night. We'd go out on the weekend. We did all the typical things that most people do. But then when I first started getting into self-improvement, I started telling my boys about my stories, and I started going to the gym, I read this thing, I did that. And when I tell my boys about these things, it seemed like they didn't even understand or care. They would also actually just make fun of me as well. I don't know if this is like a British or an Australian humor thing, but banter's a big thing. So when people make fun of you, you're supposed to laugh it off. But I remember at this point, I was taking it so seriously. I was addicted to fucking jerking off my whole life. And when I got on NoFap, I was super proud that I made 1 month. And when I told these boys, they thought it was weird that I wasn't playing with my willy, and they continued to talk about their favorite porn stars or whatever. I remember just being taken aback by that, and made me realize I'm growing so much that I'm no longer able to relate with the current friends I have. And now it becomes a weird contrast because you start falling in love with self-improvement. You really want to dial in every single part of your life. You start dialing in your sleep, your diet, getting the sunlight in the morning, not drinking caffeine for the first 90 minutes of your day. You start going down the rabbit hole, start trying to improve every single area of your life. And the more you feel like you're learning and growing, the more alone you feel, because the friends and the people you used to hang out with, they're still stuck in their own ways, and there's nothing you can relate with anymore. You first bonded over going out and having drinks and getting fucked up, taking substances, doing drugs, doing shitty things, sleeping really late at night. Now you're doing the complete opposite of that because you want to improve, you want to achieve certain goals, you want that success. But the more you improve, the bigger that gap feels and the more alone you're going to feel. So, you came to this video, Tony, I'm feeling lonely, what do I do, what are the next steps? I think the first step is just understanding that this is all part of the process. As I said before, the fact that you feel lonely and the fact that you feel like you're growing apart and just distancing yourselves from your friends and your families and people around you can't relate to them, that's a great thing, that's a positive sign. It means whatever the fuck you're doing with the reasons why you started personal development, self-help, going to the gym, reading seduction books, it's working because you're now growing. Growth means that you're going to leave a few people behind and you're not there yet to be with the people that have already made it, that are already successful, but this is a period that everyone goes through, alright? So just understand that this is a good sign. Another great thing you can do as well to not feel so lonely is to follow influencers. Now, influencers get a bad rap, a lot of them are untrustworthy, they're always trying to scam and sell you a product. But I do have coaching one-on-one if you want to improve your mindset, get more confident, feel more secure. I do have a coaching link below. But if you find the right people that have a core message and they have strong values that you can relate to and resonate with, it doesn't have to be influencers that are trying to teach you something as well. As long as you just find people online that are also spreading the same message and values, and they talk about journeys and experiences that you can relate to as well. They're great, man. I'm not gonna lie, I used to listen to a lot of Hamza, and he made me feel like I wasn't alone. When I was on my self-improvement journey just starting out, every single video he posted, I feel like I could relate to all of them, and I think there's so much power in that. And you gotta be careful with choosing the right people to listen to and follow, but if you do find the right ones and you really like their message and everything they say they fuck with, you know, their personalities are cool as well, then, you know, it's a great temporary aid to help you feel less alone. Now, journaling is also another one that's helped me a lot. Say what you want about journaling, but it's helped me out so much. I didn't understand it at first, and I made videos about that. Go click the video about journaling and why it's fucking important. But pretty much it helps you understand who you are. It helps you understand what current thoughts you're going through and to see if they're actually valid or not. A lot of times we're gonna have self-destructive thoughts and doubts and self-criticism, and a lot of them aren't even warranted. Our brains are just geared like that. It's weird. But when you journal and you write down your thoughts and how you're actually feeling, you can actually distinguish what's real and what's not. That's gonna bring a lot of comfort for you as well. And also just by being more aware of how you're feeling and what your thoughts are and the things that your mind is going through, you're gonna learn more about yourself. It's gonna bring a bit more comfort to you. If anything, you're strengthening the relationship between yourself. I struggle with this as well. Like, I hated being alone. I hated that alone time, but now I love being alone, and journaling has helped me with that because I love the process of understanding who I am as a person, and journaling is gonna help you with that. I repeated that 3 times. There's a lot of online communities now where people congregate together and talk about certain topics, or they have like the same mindset. I really believe if you just get involved in that and don't like doubt these things, like there's other people just like you are also feeling lonely and sad, and they all congregate into these online communities. No, I recently had a 3-hour call from this guy that I met in a random community. I paid like a lot of fucking money and I got out of it because I knew it was a scam. And even though I left and I thought it was a scam, I still found someone that I connected with. And I remember that day we hopped on a call, we hashed it out, and I found someone that I could fully relate to. Like I realized like there's another guy like me who's also on the YouTube grind, who's also on self-improvement, who's also trying to improve his life. Like joining these networks and like putting yourself out there, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna make you realize like you're not alone. There's no need to feel alone. And I guess that goes against the point that most people say, is to go outside and meet people authentically. You can do that, but you're gonna struggle to find people just like you. You've probably already realized that now. So the best thing you can do is use the internet, use the tools that are given to you right now. These communities and stuff are set up for you to meet other like-minded people. You know, I'm trying to start a movement myself as well, so I'll start a community too, so that you guys can meet other like-minded people who want to become more confident and secure. Probably the most important things that I've gone through right now is getting into a relationship and improving my dating life. I'll make more videos about that. But having a partner that understands you, that you can be vulnerable with, share your struggles and daily pain, that they're not going to criticize you or judge you, like, oh my god, it's been a fucking saving grace. Without my girlfriend, man, I'd be so alone. I'd be fucking crying in my bed sheets. You know, I think having a partner in your life is something that we should all strive towards. And you know, I know things like monk mode and just like hustling down, focus, don't go on any dates, just focus on yourself. Like, yeah, that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, the goal is to attract a beautiful woman or a guy, whatever you're into, a pencil, a giraffe, I don't care. And then having a relationship with someone that you care about, that you genuinely love, it's gonna make those times where you're feeling alone just a lot better. You know, when I feel lonely, man, like I'll just pick up the phone and I'll just FaceTime my girl, and she always picks up, and that's the benefit of having a beautiful relationship. There's obviously negatives as well. I made a video about that too. Boom, 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 promo. Now, after all these things I've recommended, you might be saying, well, isn't the best way to go out and meet new people? So many people are now at home just stuck glued to their phones and computers that they need some social interactions. They're fucking lacking that, and I agree. But in regards to meeting like-minded people that you can share your own experiences with, and people who's gonna understand your own pains and daily struggles, there are not many of them out there. You're gonna struggle, alright? I've worked for many companies, I've had many friend groups, I've traveled a lot as well, I've met a lot of people, and it's gonna be really rare. It's not impossible, but it is gonna be really rare to find those specific people that understand your journey, your pain. And that's why I recommended, you know, joining networks that you can find online, joining communities that are structured and geared toward, you know, certain goals or certain ways of living or ideologies. Like, join them. You're gonna meet a lot of other like-minded people. I promise you. You just gotta take the first steps and put yourself out there. Most people are just gonna be sitting in the group chats, just reading the messages. Yeah, to wrap everything up, guys, if you feel lonely, it's a completely normal thing that everyone goes through, including myself. It's part of the journey. There's still moments where I'm like sitting there at work, I'm like just listening to everyone's conversations. Like, I cannot fucking relate to any of this. Like, they're talking about video games and like just work, politics and bullshit, and I'm just sitting there just wondering like how I'm gonna grow my business. It's a weird world, man. And self-improvement, it's a weird thing. There's a lot of people that you can't really trust. A lot of people want to give you false advice, but hopefully my channel gives you a bit of comfort. Also, if you want one-on-one coaching with me as well, I help young men forge a stronger mindset and become more confident and secure with themselves. There's a link in the description. It'll be a free call, no strings attached, 30-minute call. I'll give you some advice, and I'll help you out. Anyway, guys, it is I, Tony fucking Lee.